You're talking to me.
You're like, what did you want?
Yeah.
No.
Coming. I'll fix that.
How you doing? Since we're gonna be, what's your name? How do you know about it?
Well, I know.
Hi, Cliff. I'm all with Bill and Michael's cousins, Dexter and our dad.
It was fine.
She's got some decent. Mom does the thing where her phone goes on fine. I can't open that with my
I got you.
arthritic.
No problem. There you go. And I'll just set it on there real loose. Okay? No problem. You want me to leave this up here? Okay, folks. All right, folks, I'd like to thank everybody for being here with us. Here just momentarily, we're going to be beginning the service. So at this time, we'll ask anybody with a cell phone or portable device to please make sure it's off or silenced for us, okay? Here.
Some people have a lot of friends. Sometimes you really need them. Let us take a moment and be in prayer. Lord, we ask your Spirit be among us. Give us strength. We give one another comfort, but we especially invite you comfort. We look to the future with hope, despite all that the day brings. So be with us as we meditate upon the laws, but upon your words, that we may receive your blessing. We obviously are here to celebrate the life of someone's life who was cut short. I have no idea how many funerals in my lifetime. The younger they are, the tougher it gets. Some we are prepared to deal with, some we're not. So at this point, of course, we recognize that death has come too quickly to one who still had much to contribute and share in this world, in his own world. And we were left with questions. So many whys, especially when something is so sudden. Questions that we don't have answers to. We're always left with that sense of how are we supposed to deal with something like this? And we feel most helpless at a time when so much seems to be needed. But we are here for ourselves, and we are here for one another. Only as we support one another, as we listen to one another, as we comfort one another, do we help all of us to manage with grace and find ways to fill in some tough spots, that holes, you might say, that we see now where we saw somebody before. But I have always turned to some scripture for reassurance, and if you're a wordsmith, the words themselves have meaning, and they may be different from what we're used to, but they have their own message and comfort when we turn to them. I'm always amazed that some people can say things right and better than anybody else, and how much that means. Yesterday, I had a message on my answering machine from my friend Don, whom I have known since the early 70s, I suppose. And we hadn't talked to one another for quite a while. And at the end of it, he said something so comforting: "I'll talk to you soon, my friend." How meaningful that was. I'll talk to you soon, my friend. In this world, what a beautiful sound that is. My friend. Friends mean a lot. We all take one another through the tough times, through the happy times, through the everyday times, and from that, we gather our memories. I had to ask somebody to open this because my hands are not strong enough. So, it's open. I'll just put it down here. Another one of the things that happens when you get older, right? Although some of you don't look old enough to be dealing with arthritis. Oh, man. We are good for one another. And we know it when folks turn out like this. And you're not turning out just for the family, you're turning out for one another. Very much so for one another. It's kind of an extended family. But let some of these passages sort of, let the words just sort of roll over you if they're not real familiar. You can tell probably that I've been a teacher a lot, so I always want somebody to learn something. So I want you to learn to listen for the comfort that can be there. Lord, thou hast been our refuge. From one generation to another, before the mountains were brought forth, or ever the earth and the world were made, thou art God from everlasting, and world without end. Thou turnest man to destruction, again thou sayest, come again, ye children of men. For 1,000 years in thy sight are but as yesterday, when it is past, and as a watch in the night. As soon as thou scatterest them, they are even as asleep and fade away suddenly like the grass. All that yesterday. In the morning it is green and groweth up, but in the evening it is cut down, dried up, and withered. For we consume away in the displeasure, and are afraid at thy watchful, wrathful indignation. Thou hast set our misdeeds before thee, and our secret sins in the light of thy countenance, and of all the things that we deal with in our thoughts. From Psalm 46, God is our hope and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore will we not fear, though the earth be moved, and though the hills be carried into the midst of the sea, though the waters thereof rage and swell, and though the mountains shake at the tempest of the same. There is a river, the streams whereof make glad the city of God, the holy place of the tabernacle of the Most High. God is in the midst of her. Therefore, she will not be removed or moved. God shall help her, and that right early. Be still then, and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations, and I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Phrases that are said to me, uttered in such a beautiful, poetic way, always impress me, and I think, well, can I do that? But here, these writings are for some 2,000 to 3,000 years ago, and express things that we feel now. It's not just, oh, well, that's old, that's out of date. And we realize that people forever have dealt with the same issues, have had to learn the same lessons. I will lift up my eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, who made both heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved, and he that keepeth thee will not sleep. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord himself is thy keeper. The Lord is thy defense upon thy right hand. So that the sun shall not burn thee by day, neither the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. Yea, it is even he that shall keep thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth forevermore. I encourage people to read the things that help them get in their hearts, kind of, and have public presence that is there when we know we need it. I want to offer you the opportunity to say what you would like to say, or your memories of Mike. And probably a lot of that's familiar to you, but I didn't meet him. But I'm sure I can get to know him through your ability to convey who he was. This is from his Aunt Deb. Michael was greeted in heaven by his brother Kyle. He had a passion for training dogs, which led him to adopt his two precious dogs, Freya and Loki. Where you got those names? He loved his family and his dogs so very much. He also had a passion for working out, riding his side by side, and was learning to dance with his beloved fiancée, Jessica. We loved and cherished dearly. Michael loved riding dirt bikes with his brother Kyle, and riding dirt bikes with his cousin Christopher. He and his father were working on dirt bikes to ride together one day. He will always be remembered by his family and his friends for his sense of humor and for his kind heart. I can tell when you feel that so. But somebody just stand up where you are, if you'd like to, recall some time or reminisce about some interaction that you had.
Hi, I'm Molly. I'm Mike's cousin. We used to come down every summer and see him, and I always thought he was so cool, because he told me he was so cool. And I grew up with a brother. I didn't have a sister. I didn't have a lot of women in the house. And I went up to the house one day. Mike must have been 12. I was 11, I think. And there was this game called Pretty Pretty Princess. And I really wanted to play it, but I was like, Michael's not going to play that with me. Like, he's so cool. Not only did he play it, but he got really into it, like very competitive, and he won. And I thought, I'm visiting for the summer, like, you're just gonna let me win, right? No. So when you won the game, there's this tiara that you have to wear, and he put it on his head, and he looked at me dead in my eyes, and he was like, "Don't forget, I'm the pretty princess." And that was nice. Like, he was so cool, again, because he told us he was so cool. But he always had time for you, and he always had time for his cousins. Me, Chris, Taylor, Mandy, Will, and Kyle. Even though he was older, even though he had his own stuff going on, he just always wanted to know how we were doing.
Wonderful.
I would like to say something. Yes. He was the firstborn in our family, You know, my sister was the middle child, and she had the first kid that was raised. I used to babysit Michael once in a while, and he'd come to my house and comfort me when I was sad. We had fun together, and I would take him up to the mall, and everybody would say, "Oh, your little boy is so cute," and I would say, "Thank you." And I didn't have any kids yet, so you know, I grew. Ever since then, I had a special bond with Mike, and I still have a special bond with Mike, even though you're not here.
Sure. True. I remember talking to a woman, her husband was faculty at the university. This was also many moons ago, I think, probably in the 1970s. And they had one son, and he was going to college, and was returning on the weekends, an automobile accident and killed him. And I said to her, that must be very difficult to deal with. She said, yeah, you never get over it, but you get used to it. That's just the way it is. You just get used to it. And we carry these memories with us. These are important memories. They help define who we are. We interact with somebody and we know more about who we are. So friends, and of whatever age, are very, very special and important to us. And we think about, how do we become friends with someone? Well, by doing the things like you did when you were young. You don't forget those things.
I can't really go into detail how I met Michael Connor, but I can tell you this, that I've never met anybody like I met him before. It was a situation that I will never forget. Quite a character.
I gather he was definitely quite there.
Quite a character.
And you always know these people like that. And the teas one of those, that's, my brother and I do that. I mean, I pulled a fast one on him, I think last week. Birthday was recently, he's my baby brother. And he was 85. He and his wife live in this fancy, retired living place. And I think at that age, you know, you get a little wobbly, see my cane, I can't remember. So I like to find sticks in the woods or something like that to serve as canes. You know, you have to be on pretty good terms with your brothers. So one of those canes, I decided he was kind of yellow. I cut one in 3 pieces to pack it up in a box. Send it out to him. He called me yesterday and he told me all the little mathematical things about how you had to figure this, that this didn't cut this, you had to put it back together. He'll do it. He'll put it back in. Send me a picture of having put this thing back together. But I said, how special such relationships are. You don't have to say a lot. They take it in the manner in which you, yeah, and they just, no. So special. Somebody else like to share a memory? I know you all have them.
I'm actually just, so my sister and my brother were very close back years, back when I was probably not much shorter than I am now, but I mean, I was 34. They were friends for as long as I can remember, and she said, with that family and with him, with Kyle passed and everything, they were all very, very close, and so I was talking to her yesterday, and she just had a few things to say about, like, the memories that they had together and how happy he was, and, he had his demons just like the rest of us do. But he always had a smile, like what she said, he'd always try to make other people laugh and have a good positive spirit for everything, even though his no mentality of himself is, maybe it's exact or it wasn't, but he was a good person, and it sucks to see, those good people that overcome the things that we've all overcome have to have a situation like this, but we all will remember him for who he is and what he's gone through and how he was, these days, because that was who he was and that's how he used to do it. And we learned from a lot.
Mm-hmm. If you know somebody, you kind of know what to expect when you see them. Like, he'll be warm, he'll greet you with a smile or a hug or some comment. Just, you kind of know. And I think, gee whiz, I'd love to talk to so-and-so that I haven't seen forever or who is now passed. You remember things about people that are special. They remember you. The future. All of you probably will, sometimes you'll need some comfort. And the toughest thing, I think, one of the toughest, is to have hope. Hope is something that goes into the future. It's out there. I hope that I will do this, maintain this. And sometimes, if something has really tragic has hit us, we may for a while lose hope. What is there to look forward to? But there's always someone that can help you retain a sense of hope, and it's very important. Always to have a sense of hope. You're going towards something. Something pulls you forward and doesn't leave you stranded and hanging right here. Let us be in prayer. Lord, your Spirit renews us. Now we are full of memories that we will need to hang on to now to remember mine. There are so many who were special to him, and will be difficult to fill that gap. Don't fill it too quickly. Remember, share, laugh together, cry together, love one another, support one another, and teach us, Lord, the things that hold us up, the things that help us love one another, to learn the things that keep us going. Be in our hearts all who have loved one. We know that He is Spirit is alive. May He be alive in our hearts. We pray that we may walk with You each day, and trust and hope and love and learn from You what will help us make life more loving. Be with each of us. Hear our cry, hear our prayer, and keep us in Your love and in Your grace. We pray in the name of Christ. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our services here today. I want to give a special thank you to Reverend Thurman for her kind words. I'm going to ask all of you to remain seated. We're going to start dismissing you for the rear of the room so the family can take their final leave lastly and in private. I also want to invite all of you all out to their house on River Road, 816 River Road, for a gathering and a dinner out there following the service today. And on behalf of the family, I want to thank you all for coming and showing your support. Thank you.
Follow the crowd.
All right.
Yeah, we can put on the wall. I'm in no rush here. You guys are still free to stay. You got to go on the
They're really good back and forth.
I'll go outside.
Yeah. Yeah, anything that's been a base or anything else on the water. Yeah, so.
I know it's not. Okay.
And I wrote that competition, but I was thinking, and I said that, he would never.
Never, not, you're like, but I'm the kid, I'm the kid. It's like, I remember one.
He's like, I'm here, but.
Oh, you were so young.
Yeah.
But we were doing something, and like, you walked up, and I think you were trying to like play with the phone, and you were like, you have one of my the hell you are?
Yeah, I didn't know.
Well, it's,
There's a big age between me and all.
What's all this?
Yeah.
I've heard
Those
so much.
house fault.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know it, and then, and I knew he had, because, I'm like,
She'll make everyone.
I mean, he knows he had to have.
Oh, yeah.
And then, about, oh my gosh. It was. I thought it was darn
Yeah.
great.